Would you believe I've got something new to show you? I've been talking about it, kind of hinting about it for quite a while. And if you've seen some of the comments that I've written on some of the other YouTube channels, you'd be able to guess what I'm talking about. Well, I got a new camera. I think this deserves a good talk about. Hello anyone, I'm Scott Bame. They call me the old farmer. I've been looking at picking up another camera, probably for almost a year. I'll show you the camera that I've been using most of the time. Actually, I got two video cameras. One's a pocket camera and the other one is it outperforms the cameras that you would find at the local TV station for quality. But it's very old and it's starting to break down. For example, I can't plug a outboard microphone into it. I could use the microphone that came with Canon that slides into the hot shoe, but if I wanted to use another microphone, I would have to use separate audio. So the camera that I got is a Fujifilm X-s20, and it had to have specific things, else I wasn't interested. The first thing is that it had to have a full articulating screen. In other words, so that I can turn it around and do this, what I'm doing right now. It's called vlogging. But I need it more importantly for still photography on a project that I'm working on. I need to have an articulating screen so that I can set up shots high in the air. I've got a project where I have to have the camera higher than my height, and I have to be able to see how I got the camera set up. So I had to have an articulating screen like I have on the Canon. And if it didn't have it, I didn't look at any of the other specs. Why have a camera that gets in your way? Now, the funny thing about this camera, it's got everything I want. I can plug, I've got a shotgun microphone plugged into it right now. And it's sitting on the hot shoe position. And it's got an onboard flash. Great, glad. But I doubt I'll use it. But it's there in case I do. I don't have to use a weird dongle off of a USB port for listening to audio. And some cameras didn't even have a microphone input, but they shot video. So this thing shoots above 4K, I believe 6.2, but I don't think I'll ever shoot above 1920 and 1080 like I do for the video channel. But the pocket camera from Zoom and the Fujifilm camera here both can shoot at 4K video, and the Canon can take 4K photos. So I'm sitting in a pretty good position right now, I think. I'm sitting here and I'm watching the meters bob for the audio, and I'm watching the flashing lights, how much time I have left. 5 hours, 5 minutes, and 25 seconds. Is the camera overheating? No, it's not overheating. It was overheating when I was doing test shots in RAW. It wasn't seriously overheating, but I was surprised with my test shots that the camera got as warm as it did. Now I can plug this into my computer and do remote photos or videos and run the control of the camera either off of my cell phone or through the computer. I've got a software program that will control the camera on my computer. And I'll give you an example of where you can look to see how that's done, only I'm not using the same software. I'm on Linux. I think he's on Windows.
So you should be able to see that these are the settings that I have on the camera at the moment. So it's in full manual mode. I have a shutter speed of 1/125th of a second, which is the flash sync speed for that camera, ISO 100, and at the moment I've got an aperture set of f11. So just with those settings and without doing anything else, what I'm going to do is just capture an image just to make sure that I don't get too much contamination from the house lights. Okay. There we are, and you can see from that it's a virtually black picture, which is exactly what we want. So any light that I now add will be the only light which actually affects the subject. Okay, so just at an arbitrary energy level, what I'm going to do now is just grab an image and just see what we get. Okay, so we can see in here it's probably a couple of stops under in terms of the exposure. So what I can do is just address that to start with, and then we'll talk about the image.
And then there's Tony and Chelsea. They're a fun video channel. They talk about how to shoot video and photography, and they review cameras.
As many of you have noticed, camera theft continues to be a problem in our community, and it's getting more and more dangerous. Our friend Louis Chan was robbed at gunpoint. We're thankful that he has his life and that he's okay. Coming up, Tony and I are going to talk about the things that camera companies could do to implement anti-theft technology. We're also going to talk about how to protect your gear and yourself and what to do if you find yourself in a situation where someone's trying to steal your gear.
I want to personally thank Louis Chan for taking such a proactive role in this. You know, he's somebody who has been through a really painful and traumatic experience, and all he's been able to think about is how he can turn it into a positive and make things better for the photography community as a whole. I'm really thankful for you, Louis, that you are a part of the photography community, and I hope your story does end up making a difference.
Another good channel to take a look at. I just needed a camera that isn't arguing with me. The Canon started to argue with me. Is everything perfect on this Fujifilm? No, not even close. When I got done, I got an 18 to 55 zoom lens, and I got extra batteries. A battery did come with the camera, but I got this through Adorama, and they recommended that I get an off-brand battery for the same price as one Fujifilm battery, same power and everything on it. The advantage is that it's got a USB port right on the battery pack, so I can just plug it in and charge it that way. Unless I wanted to buy an extra battery charger, and Fujifilm wanted $60, and Amazon has unbranded ones for $20 that look exactly the same. If you don't buy that, you have to charge the battery through the camera. And I'm not too wild on how that looks. Let me bring this over for you. Okay, take a look. Different. Okay, let's see if it'll focus. Focus. Okay, I'm still learning to focus, and it's focusing on my eye, so it might be a little hard. Let's put it back here. So you slide on the type of wall plug that you have. Then it's got, I think, a small transformer. Then it goes over to USB-C. Both sides of this is USB-C. I don't think that's appropriate. So I bought cleaning kits, and I bought extra batteries. I bought this 18 to 55 zoom lens, and a few other doodads, like a remote, which is supposed to be coming, so that I can control the camera just by plugging in a little wire remote to it, which is fine. It's a shame that they don't have a good wireless. I have to say the Canon video camera has an excellent wireless remote. This to me is 50 years stepping back, doing it the way that they're doing it. But hey, it's got 95% of the things that I want. And the whole package with one year extra warranty on it and everything that I got with it, the doodads, was about $2,000. Camera was $1,300, about $700 if you bought the lens separate. Luckily, it's a package deal. They knocked $300 off buying the camera and the lens together. It should be a little bit better lens than what a traditional kit lens is, but it won't win any awards good enough for what I'm doing. So I'll tell you more about what it can do later on once I figure out how to get through it. Some other positives is some people complain about the menu. Other than getting it to turn on and turn off, the menu was no problem to me. Setting up the way that I want things done, the video's 1920 by 1080. I don't need to shoot that in 4K. I can if I need to, but I don't need to. I shoot photos as big as I can, and I shoot it in JPEG and RAW. It's all on one memory card, standard memory card. Now, if you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel, some things to keep in mind. First of all, just buy a little lapel microphone with a stereo plug on the end and start out using your cell phone, okay? That's good enough to get you started. But pick up the lapel microphone, $20 for doing that. And it'll make a difference. Now I'm talking about Android. I don't know how they're doing it in Apple. I've given up on Apple a couple of decades ago. They always got in my way of doing my legitimate work with their equipment, so I just gave up using their stuff and went back to Linux. So it's an Android phone, and when you have an Android phone, get a stereo mini plug on the end of the cord and pick up a little lapel mic. And you can plug it into the phone and then get a selfie stick. Now, if you want to do a little bit better and you don't want to fool around with as many doodads on the camera, you might want to get what's called a bridge camera. That's one step above the instant shoot cameras. You can't change out the lens. It's all built into being one unit. And it has fewer controls on it. But you got maybe a little bit more zoom capability than what I have with the camera right now. But you can get everything for, somewhere around $1,100 for a very good bridge camera. But for, by the time you get done with everything, not quite twice as much, maybe 80% more, you get what I got. But you might want to look at a bridge camera if you want. So I'm going to have a little bit of fun out there. I do like shooting stills. I'll go out and shoot some stills. And from time to time, I might show you what it is. And later on, I'll do another review of this camera once I get to the point where I understand what the heck they're talking about. Thank you for watching. And please be safe. We'd sure appreciate it if you could subscribe and leave a comment. You know how YouTube behaves. They won't believe you watched a video unless you leave a comment. Also, it would help if you ring the bell and do a thumbs up. As you know, if I find a good channel, I pass it on to you. So if you think it's appropriate, it would sure help if you passed us on to your closest 10,000 friends and family. But above all, give a helping hand to someone today. It's the best gift to give. It'll make you feel good too.
Don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, or ring the bell buttons on the Original Old Farmer channel. We enjoy reading the comments that you leave, and they do help the channel, so keep them coming. And once again, thank you for watching The Original Old Farmer.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.